Yeah.
And we're going to be honest, a lot of people in the Francophone countries don't get no credit because they don't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're from Burundi and you're talented, and if you're from Ivory Coast, you're not talented, you're talented, and you're from Congo, both Congos. What else do you have out there? You got Burkina Faso,
Yeah.
Mali.
Coast, yeah.
Yeah. Or you in Portuguese Africa, Mozambique.
Yeah.
People overlook you because you're not in the English market. So we don't even know what these people are doing there. We don't know what they can do because we don't speak French.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Janita Maya and this is the Repat podcast. Now, the original Kenganda podcasters out here today.
You know it?
Exactly. I should tell them who you are.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, Sacramento, California, African American.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. You know what? This actually brings me back to the time during the lockdown when we used to do the podcast and Satati used to shoot.
Yeah.
Good times.
We're back. It's so I can only depend on you when people can't show up. But anyways.
Right? Anyway, guys, watch this clip with us and react to it with us.
Mm-hmm. But the Nigerians are the most smartest people on the planet.
Right. Yeah, I believe it.
I promise you. There's nobody more smarter than the Nigerians. Now, of course, there's a few bad apples that came out. You know what I'm saying?
They smart too, though.
No, they extremely smart.
Yeah, they smart.
They just put their intelligence all in the wrong place.
Right.
If they would have geared that towards something more, positive and productive,
right.
Because the ones that did, there's more billionaires being made in Nigeria than anywhere in the world on an annual basis.
Friends took that email. They make all the business. They thought they was giving back.
But listen, to the credit of them though, you only get caught if you get greedy.
So yeah, guys, O'Shea, what do you think about this clip from Akon?
Yeah, so let me just say this. As a person that is a Pan-African, I've accepted that. I used to be known as a person that was strong African American centered person with Pan-African leanings. I'm still a person that's very African American centered, but I've also accepted that title. Let me just say, because as a person that, if you probably were to do my DNA like many African Americans, we would have some level of Nigerian heritage. Most of us, 50 or 60%, although we are in a new diaspora now. I don't really take offense to what he's saying, although I'm biased towards my own personal group as the most talented group, if you would ask me personally. But that's just being biased.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nigerians are definitely some, if not some of the most talented groups in Africa.
Yeah.
It's the truth in the world. Nobody can deny that. Despite, let's say, you might say Uganda.
Yeah.
I might say African Americans, whatever. The question that I have is, what is the reason why he's saying that? Now, let me just say this. All of us think our group is going to be the most talented for the most part. Now, in Africa, Nigerians have a very dominant rule in the culture. But for somebody like this person, Akon, he says Nigerians are the smartest people in the world, no doubt, right? But do we know what problem Akon is having right now? When Akon wants to get money from people as a Pan-African, who is he asking the most?
Africans.
He's asking people in the diaspora, primarily African Americans and some Nigerian Americans, but mostly because Akon got his money from the African American community. Now, this is what I want to say, and he started there. Hear me out. Akon shouldn't be making a statement like that. Even me on this podcast, you will never hear me come out and say, African Americans are the smartest people in the world. I can't say that. If I'm preaching the message of what? Pan-Africanism. Can I say that? Now I'm not, I can't say let's all build Africa if I have a preference toward a group. If I have a preference towards a group, I'll keep it to myself. And I can sometimes have preferences towards my own group, right? But if I'm in this message of Pan-Africanism, I can't say that. Akon, the scammer, which he is that, okay? He's telling the world Nigerians are the smartest people in the world. Then all you have to say is this, no matter who the group was. How is Nigeria doing? That's all that you need. This is no hate against Nigerians. If that is the case, how is Nigeria where it's at? That's how easy somebody could combat that. If you want to really be technical. If Nigerians are the smartest people in the world, I just came from Dubai, for an example, right? On average, Nigeria has more resources than Dubai. Dubai is a desert. So if Nigerians are the smartest group on planet Earth, Akon, if you want to go there, then how is Dubai not running the same way that these talented Nigerians have done? Here's what Nigerians have really made a case for themselves in the diaspora, right? So when you look at these investment banking firms, all this, Nigerians have done well someplace else. But what Nigerians and other people in the world have never really figured out as to how to take Nigeria as a country to the level of Dubai, the level of Luxembourg, okay? And this is what all of us are trying to figure out in the Black world, how to do that. And what I'm saying is, once you make the case that Nigerians are the smartest people in the world, then what you're trying to say is, let's show preference towards a group in the diaspora. Now, we're not discounting the fact that Nigerians are who they are, because they're great. We cannot discount who Black Americans or African Americans or Jamaicans. Jamaicans are a small portion of the diaspora, and they got a big effect. But the reality is, as a Pan-African, you cannot say that, because the arguments can be, well, look at how corrupt Nigeria is. If they're so smart, why are they living like that?
Yeah.
If they're so smart, then do you understand how easy that can be combated?
Yeah.
So if you're in the Pan-African space, you can't ever say African Americans are greater than Nigerians. We have to say all of our people, given the opportunity, can do X, Y, and Z. But once we start putting one group over the other as a Pan-African, then we got to understand, well, why is he trying to do that now? Because just 5 years ago, there you were in the African American community asking them for money. Then came the shots. So if he'll do that to us, then won't he do it to them next? That's what I'm saying. So again, it can make Nigerians feel good, but next year it'll be them. He's scamming them. And then saying Ghanaians are the smartest people in the world.
Yeah.
See, and the brother is acting and moving around like an agent. In my honest opinion, I don't really talk like that. But what do you think?
You know what? When you came up with this topic, I actually had a different perception, because I was going to come on here and defend the Nigerians, because I do believe they are, I wouldn't say the smartest, but they have excelled in various fields.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have excelled. Most times when Nigerians go to a certain place, they always excel. Oh,
sure.
Yeah. But I recently saw a video by Vusi, and he was saying, Nigeria, like, if you lose the talent in your country, like, you see how Nigerians, whenever they leave the countries, they go outside there and they give it their best and they do their best and they excel at what they do. But it's because Nigeria itself is losing its talent, and that's why its people are always leaving. Because they have this thing in Nigeria called Japa, where it's like you work hard so that you can leave the country that you're in, so to go and excel in a different country. But to your point of Pan-Africanism and not saying one group is smarter than the other,
right,
it makes so much sense, because now I don't even have words, because that makes so much sense. Because where is the unity in us if we say, oh, one group is smarter than the other?
Yes.
And then what's going to happen the next month when someone else decides that the other group is also smarter than the other?
Right.
Is the goalpost going to keep changing with who is the smartest group, yet we're all Africans in the end?
Because if that was the case, let me just say this. And Nigerians have done very well in societies, talk about investment bankings and places like that. When Nigerians got to the UK, the Caribbeans were there first.
Yeah.
Okay. And when they came to to America, African Americans were there first, and some Caribbeans. Okay. So they came in and they were already doing very, and still to continue to do very well. But the whole point of Akon's verbiage is to cause division between the blacks and the diaspora. Because if you notice what Akon does, he causes division. Mm-hmm. He takes shots at African Americans. And then on the same hand, he bigs up Nigerians, which is what anybody would like to hear. Like for me as an African American, I would love for you to big up our group. I mean, just because I'm from that community, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear bad things about our group. But at the same time, if I'm in this Pan-Africanism as a black person, I got to be able to feel that all of us from the same ancestral lineage can swing the bat no matter how we identify ourselves.
Yeah.
So, and if you're a person trying to build Akon City, which you're not because you're a fraud and you are a liar and you are a thief, now you want to come out here and say Nigerians are the smartest, brightest people. Mm-hmm. Well, then who put you on, nigga? If you want to be honest, you didn't get big in Afro beats. You didn't get big in I'm a Piano. You brought your no talent ass into St. Louis, and who supported your broke ass at the time? It was the African American community that put your stupid on. Mm-hmm. It wasn't white people, it wasn't Nigerians, it wasn't none of them people. So what group was that? Why you over here running your mouth? Even on the podcast you going on, all the tours you was going on, all the black cities, you wasn't getting big in Lagos. So who was you getting big with? So what's the hatred towards the group of the people that helped you, and then trying to use that group of the other group who ain't got nothing to do with nothing? Now, y'all gonna come for me in the podcast, in the comments, but Nigerians don't have nothing to do with his comments at all.
Yeah.
Because they don't have no dog in this fight. He is Senegalese.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So Nigerians are innocent there. But it's only to say that he can give homage because Nigerians are talented. They are smart. And they are the biggest black group in the world. Yeah. And they move shit. No doubt. All over where they go, they move stuff. But then when you're trying to say that, don't come back and ask nobody else for no help. Since you said they were, that's how folks gonna take it. Because you're not gonna tell me, as a person in Pan-Africanism, they're the talented group in the world, period. And then when I don't see no evidence of how you got big at all, you didn't come through that community. Then you're gonna ask me for the money from my diaspora as you and so other groups in the diaspora, because if somebody is great, somebody got to be less. He don't say that about us, right?
Yeah.
And so then you got to look at how African Americans feel when you got big in our community. Mm-hmm. You didn't get big in Lagos.
Yeah.
The Afro beats industry is not where African Americans go to Nigeria and get on. Mm-hmm. Nobody from other parts of Africa that I know go to Nigeria and get on. Nigeria is for Nigerians. Is it true?
That's true.
Who goes to I'm a Piano and get on? South Africa. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody in Southern Africa. I don't know. But you don't just see. So what I'm saying is, why are you saying that? You're saying that because you're now trying to get some pull from Nigerians now, right? Now you're trying to get some help from them because your project done failed, right? Yeah. Because you are a scammer. That's what you are. Okay? You're a liar. You're a crook. So now let's get Nigeria behind me since the other parts of the diaspora have found me out. And then it causes division. Look, we all got preferences for our own people. We definitely do that. And people can say this, if you say African Americans are the most talented, all a Nigerian American got to do is go and start trying to express single motherhood in Black America, shootings in St. Louis, robins. You see how easy it is to try to debunk that? That's why we got to stay away from those kind of conversations, because as good as some of our people gonna look, we're gonna have some people who look very bad. If you're a Nigerian talking shit about African Americans, all they gotta do is show up to where you live at, where your country is, and take pictures and post them on the internet, and it's done right there. So you got to be careful on how you talk, because people can come out and embarrass you for real. When you start talking about how your group is better than somebody else, everybody can go and find research on that group, which is why I don't say that kind of stuff here on the podcast, because I don't want nobody in oh, well, y'all African-American murderers or whatever. I don't want my people being embarrassed like that. So I stay away from that. Do I have my preference for my own group? Sure. Mm-hmm. But am I stupid enough to believe that you don't have other people who are more talented than my group and the blacks? Of course they do. They're black. Of course you're going to have other blacks as better than us in some things, and we're going to swing the bat in some things. That's just the truth. Black folks got it like that. But the reason why Akon is such a cancer in the Pan-African community, because number one, he's a liar. Number two, he's a crook. And number three, he's a thief. And number 4, he goes around on these podcasts splitting up blacks. He don't unify nobody. You can never unify people with that. We all know the contributions that the Nigerians are making. It's undeniable. Afro beats, Burna Boy, what they're doing in their films, they're doing things nobody's doing in Africa. We see that. Okay? We see what the South Africans are doing. It's undeniable what they're doing. Kenyans, it's undeniable what they're doing. African Americans, I don't need to say nothing else, right? It's undeniable what they're doing. But once you start putting this tribalism in the gates, don't come and ask people to help you build Akon City, Negro.
Yeah.
Because now you're a liar. And that's why, as the Pan-African world, we gotta stay away from those conversations, because then we get back into tribalism, because it's too easy to go to Philadelphia and take pictures of Black America, what we doing over there. You can come to Uganda here and find something messed up when you talking like that. Kenya, you can go to Kibera slums, and there's so many different receipts you can collect that embarrass somebody. Somebody could always say, well, why you not in your country? Why you got to go do somewhere else? And then once you say that, what can you say? You can't say nothing to that. Because then what it says is you're not smart enough to run your own stuff. Can you see somebody from Qatar say we the smartest Arabs somewhere in the world?
No.
But they don't have what they have in Qatar. They had to go somewhere else and do it?
Yeah.
You can't really, do you see how that would look? So this is what we were to say. So when you say they're the smartest people in the world, and they could be, then when you look at how things work, when you go to Dubai or Luxembourg or places the whites have, people can just start. It's unfair to Nigerians for that conversation to be had because of what they had to go through. They haven't gone through the same things those people have went through. But people, because they're hurt, can start to do that. You understand what I'm saying?
I do agree with what you're saying. And especially the part about Akon just creating division among Africans, or creating division and tribalism, like you said it. Because all his interviews, now that I think about it, I don't think he's, unifying the continent. Or he's just saying, oh, these people are like this, or those people are like that, and whatnot. And so I think, yeah, you're right. I think he's trying to get like the support of Nigerians. Once Nigerians support you, they will support you. They will go to the end of the earth for you. They'll do anything for you. Well, not anything, but like, you understand that support. Once you have Nigerian support, then I think you are on the right path to something. Once you have the support.
And as an African American, that probably has, by ancestral DNA, 50% Nigerian ancestral DNA. Most African Americans have that, so we can't be necessarily so offended.
Yeah. Because
there are ancestral people. Right? So then we can share some common bondage with them in Ghana. So nobody is really going to be offended by that because we're so similar. But what about East Africans? What about the Congolese that swing the bat? Yeah. And we're going to be honest, a lot of people in the Francophone countries don't get no credit because they don't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're from Burundi and you're talented, and if you're from Ivory Coast, you're talented and you're from Congo, both Congos. What else do you have out there? You got Burkina Faso, Mali.
Coast, yeah.
Yeah, or you in Portuguese Africa, Mozambique.
Yeah.
People overlook you because you're not in the English market. So we don't even know what these people are doing there. We don't know what they can do because we don't speak French.
Yeah.
So the thing is, under the situation of Pan-Africanism and bringing all blacks together, all blacks are talented.
Yes.
And there are some blacks that have contributed and paved the way in certain areas, like Caribbeans, African Americans, and it's simply because we had a little bit of a head start over in certain areas. Yeah. But that does not take away from the talent of those in Kenya, because Kenya came up with mobile money, M-Pesa.
Yeah.
South Africa came up with its stuff. But again, Akon is going around dividing the black world, and we are already suffering from tribalism. We know who is who in Africa and the black world. Yeah. We know who it is. We don't have to talk about who is making a contribution. Yeah. But we don't want to belittle somebody else's contribution. What if you have a talented Ghanaian and he take offense to that? Or somebody from Senegal take offense to that? Or somebody from the African American community? Because African Americans, we're going to believe all the time. We are some people that swing. We have African Americans who believe that we are God's. I'll tell you, we have African Americans who believe we are God's chosen people. And everybody else is not chosen like us. we have many of us that feel that way about ourselves. Don't quote me on it, but let me tell you this though. And while I would like to feel that is somewhat true, I would like to feel that way. That don't make it true. Mm-hmm. What make it true is the people who feel like they actually have the mind to see blacks come together and work together. Those are who God chose. He didn't just choose one person over the other, in my opinion. That's why people helped us in the black community, like Walter Rodney. People like that. Folks who even had white wives like Sidney Poitier. Those people come in different forms that we always didn't see. Okay? Stokely Carmichael came from the Caribbean. If you want to say Louis Farrakhan, that he's, people have questionable ideas. Malcolm X was part Caribbean. So everybody didn't come into the same form as we did. But folks came out of nowhere swinging the bat. Is that right?
That's right.
Blacks came in all kind of shapes, different. Some were socialists. We have like Julius Nyerere. Yeah, socialists. Some folks were capitalists like Giacomo Kenyatta. But they swung the bat nevertheless. Everybody didn't look the same, or nor did they feel the same. Yeah. So in bringing the black world together, we got to understand our personal preferences for our group, for this to move forward, for Africa free trade to move forward. It got to be behind us. Yeah. Our Nigerian, our African American, our Ghanaian, our Ivory Coastan, our tribes, our Ancoles, our Choles, our Bugandas, it got to come here. It can come back once we get through working with each other. We go back, then we can have those talks. But when we're trying to achieve something, it got to be for the whole surface of the continent, us against the whites, us against the Asians. Because if we ever get caught up in just Nigerians are better, then the African American community going to clap back. Then the black British going to clap back. Yeah. And now we're going to have fighting and no working together. Yeah. And we can't afford to do that now because Pan-Arabism, they don't argue about stupid shit like that. Yeah. If they do, you don't hear about it. Where's the video that you see on Dubai is better than Qatar? Because Dubai work with Qatar.
Yeah, they work together.
Oman work with Qatar. Saudi Arabians, they made very feel that Saudi Arabia is better than Qatar, but you ain't gonna hear it. Those things are going to be in the culture, which you can't get into if you don't speak Arabic. But to go out nationally and say African Americans are better than Nigerians, it's a bad look. Yeah. You can't say that. Keep that kind of talk behind closed doors. If that's how you feel, we talk about that in St. Louis. We could talk about that in Philly, in our African-American homes, how much we joke and stuff. We feel we better than them. Nigerians do it in Lagos here when we come together. It's time to get to work. But we can never publicly say that. Because it's not good. It look bad. Because somebody going to be offended. That's 53 nations you done left out.
Yes.
And how many nations in Africa? 53. And then you got Dominica, you got black Latinos, you got black Brazilians. How do you think they feel? Yeah. And we gotta understand that. You see? Yeah. I have a preference from our group.
Definitely.
But the preference from our group cannot be bigger than what we're trying to achieve globally. I'll keep my preference at home. Then we talk about that another time. Me, my African-American friends, when we somewhere close in proximity, then we talk about that. If we feel we the best blacks. But we can't come out here and say it. We can joke about it. Because when we feel that way, we will not give other blacks an opportunity to grow. Because let me tell you something before I end. There was a myth, and I hope nobody get offended. But you remember there was a time I wanted to move this podcast to Kenya. Yeah. Because there was an opinion that Ugandans didn't have what it takes to do this business.
That's true.
Yeah. So they were saying, take it to Ghana or Kenya. Because Ugandans, you wasting your time there. What have Ugandans proved?
That they can do it.
They can do it not only as good as the Kenyans and South Africans. We went to Kenya and it was, I'm just telling you, mama, our guys are good, right? Yeah. So we're not even talking about in this business, Kenyans, because name a Nigerian podcast that's as good as this all the time, frequently. You can't name one. Okay? But you got it because you got a Ugandan on the team, African American here, we got Kenyans here.
Yeah.
This is the diaspora and Africans working together to provide something at the same time.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, we don't have conversations about who's the best. We from different tribes, some from Buganda, some from the West, some from Mbale, whoever else it is, right? They from everywhere. Do we ever have discussions about what tribe is the best? Have we ever talked about that before? Never, right? We talk about who can do the work because that's what you need. So again, we got to understand that people say, hey, don't stay in Uganda, go to Ghana. Uganda, we have proved that we can do anything that anybody else can do here in this country. As good as Kenya, as good as America. If you give blacks the resources to do what they need to do. So if Nigeria can swing the bat, then it lets me know I'm excited.
Yeah.
It means Gambia can do it too. It means Togo can do it too. Because they're still humans, they're still blacks. You mean to tell me God gave one set of a group blacks something he didn't give the other groups? That's silly. Because he made everybody in his image. So you're not telling me that you made the African American in the image that he didn't make the Nigerian in that image or the Ghanaian in the same image and the Ugandans are less than them. We can't say that. So there are reasons why certain people just didn't develop because of whatever else it could be. It's not by genetics. So I don't want to get into those arguments because it divides our people. And we need all our people on the same page because the Arabs don't talk about shit like this. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the perfect way to end the episode.
You always say that all the time.
Because I have nothing else to say. I feel like you've basically said everything that needs to be said about this particular topic.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this one last thing. When you start saying you the best, and again, Nigerians can feel that way because if he said African Americans, we would feel the same way, right? All a Nigerian got to do is go pull up some statistics in Baltimore, in Philly, in Atlanta. Then we have a war online. All somebody got to do is go to, I've been to Lagos. That don't mean that their people are terrible, but somebody can go and start looking for what, this is why y'all not that. And the way to get and I would expect that from a hater, but not Akon, who's trying to build a scam city off some mobile minutes, whatever this fraud's trying to do. I would expect somebody else who is maybe a white person, a white nationalist trying to divide you. Not this Negro who is Pan-African and he says that about African Americans, which is negative, and bigs up Nigerians. When you came over to the African American community and you got on in the music industry, you wasn't singing Burna Boy Afro beats or trying to get in Hollywood. No, Negro, you was in St. Louis. So if that was the case, why didn't you move from Senegal to Lagos? Because if you would have moved to Senegal to Lagos, wouldn't nobody know you right now. And you wasn't singing like country music. You came into African-American pop auto-tune with your no talent ass. Okay? That's what you did. So the reason is all blacks have the ability to perform very well. Some have bigger numbers than others. You know, the Nigerians is 200 million. African-Americans is 40 million. We have the access of a good capital system. So we developed in certain aspects that others did not. And then when they came over and experienced this, they also developed too.
Yeah.
So anybody that has ability to perform can do so. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Tell people where they can find you.
Do not message me. I'm telling y'all this from the bottom of my heart. This is the end of the year. I am hosting. We got Mark Meets Africa, right?
Yeah.
And then I got 2 more people.
Oh, really?
3 more. I am not meeting nobody else that has not scheduled with me. I've been hosting all year. So if you message me, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
But you can do it if you want. I mean, you talk to yourself.
Yeah. And you can go ahead and send us an email at teamkenganda@gmail.com if what you have to say is urgent or if you think or anything you'd like to share with us. I want to say this was a very nice episode. Thank you so much.
You think so?
Yeah. It was a good one. Thank you.
I'll try to do that here.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, you can also follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. Also subscribe to our dating show at the Pan-African Dating Show. We'll see you guys next time.